Hey, what's up? I'm Russ. You found me. This is Dapper Dividends. What's going on? We're going to take a look at 3 trending tickers on Yahoo. 3 trending top tickers on Yahoo. Say that fast. They are Ford, Apple, and AT&T. They've been in the news. They're at the top. I'm going to look at all 3. We're going to run through them, and I'm going to tell you if I would buy them as a dividend growth investor, purely as a dividend growth investor, if they would be worth my time and money. So let's get into it, starting off with Ford. Here we are at Ford's old Twitter page. See what they got going on, 1.3 million followers. So they did have some news. They announced the F-150 all-electric EV Ford that is coming out. As you see here, the strength of an F-150 electrified. And they say we took our best, made it electric. The all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning has arrived, so let's check that out. All right, so here we're on Ford's webpage with the 2022 F-150 all-electric F-150. Let's take a peek at some of the features here. 100% electric. It is going to have nearly instantaneous torque, which is going to be cool to see from an EV. Intelligent backup power, connected services to intelligent range, the advanced technology. This is something that Tesla was very, very innovative in bringing forward, was over-the-air software updates, powerful charging solutions, and Ford Pass integration that not only allows remote access to your truck and communication with a Ford Charge Station Pro at home for seamless access to public charging, expanding your definition of what a truck can be. This is going to be really cool. The intelligent backup power, security, and peace of mind are invaluable during severe weather and unpredictable events. That's why Ford helps you ensure you never have to worry about being left in the dark, because the all-electric F-150 Lightning features available. So basically, you can combine with the available 80 amp Ford Charge Station Pro, and you can count on it when you need most. They will allow you to back up your home, enhanced Pro Power on board. So let's see what they got here. There are 11 outlets on this thing. It's a giant battery, no matter the job. 9.6 kilowatt version offers 4 120 volt outlets in the front trunk, the frunk as we'll get to, 2 in the cab, 4 in the bed. The bed also features a 240 volt outlet. Software updates, we went over that. Blue Cruise, this thing is loaded, man. I'm impressed so far. It is a driver-facing camera and radar sensing technology, allowing for hands-free driving on pre-qualified sections of divided highways called hands-free blue zones that make up more than 100,000 miles of North American roads. Very interesting. Power My Trip. Ford Pass Power Trip, the ability to plan trips in your vehicle, considers the current charge. That's pretty cool. Let's see, Phone is a Key. With the available Phone is a Key feature, you can access and start your F-150 Lightning without having to take your phone out of your pocket. This is same thing, it's a key fob. This is what Tesla also uses. And intelligent range. Your truck learns how much energy it uses in various conditions. It accurately calculates range while factoring in the weather, traffic, grade, payload, towing weights, and more. Moving along, the intelligent backup power. Let's see here. Truck charges up. You get home and plug in your truck with the available 80 amp Ford Charge Station Pro. The F-150 Lightning charges using power from the grid. But the grid goes down. But what happens when the power gets knocked out by a storm? No problemo. The Ford F-150 Lightning is there to help. You can set Ford Intelligent Backup Power to automatically or manually kick in and power your home just like a generator, with the ability to offboard up to 9.6 kilowatts of peak energy. Ford F-150 Lightning can provide full home power for up to 3 days or as long as 10 days as power is rationed. Your truck, this is going to be something you better get used to in the future, and this will be great as people will essentially be driving generators around. You will able to have electricity, and if the grid goes down, I think that's really awesome. Impressive range and charging solutions. Let's see, targeted 300-mile range. Very nice. It's got charging covered. We'll get into charging in a minute. Let's see, to go electric, we went to work. By going all electric, you get a truck that requires no gas and offers lower scheduled maintenance fees. 2 motors, 4 wheels, phenomenal torque. Looks like there is a motor to control each axle. Lithium-ion battery pack. We equip the F-150 with the advanced lithium-ion battery pack, protected by unique exostructure. Acts as a shield when off-roading. That's what I would be worried about. They mounted it between the frame rails to make sure it doesn't occupy any interior volume or take away from bed space. And it has independent rear suspension. The F-150 utilizes an independent rear suspension that helps minimize body roll and isolates road imperfections. It has enhanced voice recognition, is standard on Lariat and Platinum models. I wonder if they're going to really make their money on the luxury models, on the Lariat, the Platinum, and I think the King Ranch is maybe the one above that. And the base models, they're probably not going to make killing on. It includes voice access and to your favorite apps, connected navigation, and cloud-based connectivity and more. Reserve your F-150 Lightning entry model starts at $39,974. The more equipped XLT, $52,000. There you go. Reserve now. Place your order beginning fall of 2021. The first shipments they predict begin in spring of 2022. Electric can do everything you need a truck to do. You know, this is the future, guys. The future is here and it is coming quick. 2,000 pounds maximum payload capacity. That's very, very important for people like me that are in the trades. Different drive modes. Off-road capable, you gotta go mudding in your Ford. Advanced towing and hauling, nice Airstream over, I guess that looks like the PCH, Pacific Coast Highway. If you can't back up a truck into a trailer, got trailer hitch assist. All right, we're spending a little bit of time here. Look at that, onboard scales for weighing of additional items loaded onto the pickup. Trailer backup we went through, trailer reverse guidance. They got a work area here. See, this is up my alley, everybody. This is what we use this for. Oh, there it is. Power in the frunk. Cab and bed. Tailgate work surface. Enhanced zone lighting. And there it is, the frunk. The hood opens with the grill attached. This gives you low, easy access to this convenient lockable space. 100% power open and close, so all it takes is the push of a button. The Mega Power frunk can easily be locked or unlocked from anywhere you are through the Ford Pass app. You lose a lot of space with a truck. That's been one of the negatives when I had my Dodge Ram, was storage, because you have the bed and there's bed liners, there's tonneau covers, different things you can cover up that bed with, but that's a lot of space in the frunk. So there it is. If you haven't been aware, the largest front trunk of any all-electric pickup. And for the people like me, the commercial is coming, the commercial vehicle. There we go. The Platinum, the Lariat. These are the luxury editions that will be out there. And then we'll just take a peek at the Lightning Gallery. So that, I think we do now have a pretty... Oh, hold on. Don't go anywhere yet. Don't go anywhere yet. As much as $7,500 in federal tax incentives, depending on where you live. No oil changes, less scheduled maintenance. No oil changes, no gas. And see how far the Lightning can take you. Hey, let's have something fun here. I'm right by Chicago. Okay. And say I wanted to go to Mount Rushmore. Let's see what we get here. It's working. Working. Look at that. So, all along the way, it's showing the charging stations. Of course, Chicago's loaded with them. So, that's pretty cool. So it's going to be able to calculate when you need to go to a charging station. Let's zoom into old Mount Rushmore. So even if you get to Mount Rushmore, they got some charging stations for you all set up. Looks like a very, very nice truck. And everybody, the future is definitely coming. We'll just pull up Ford on Schwab here and take a peek. Have a little bit of a look-see. Been climbing in price, but if we go out 5 years... hit a big dip all the way down to under $4 during the COVID panic sell-off. 52-week range, $5.44 to $13.62. Has a beta of 1.14. That means if the market moves up $1, Ford's moving up $1.14. But conversely, if the market falls $1, Ford is falling $1.14. Schwab has a C equity rating on Ford, and they don't pay a dividend. Their dividend's been choppy. It had been growing. There was a special dividend here in 2016. They cut the dividend, then they raised the dividend, then they cut, and then they cut. They eliminated the dividend in 2020. As we see down here, they last paid 15 cents a share on January 8th of 2020. Look at the growth analysis. The earnings per share, no bueno, it's up 230% over the last year because they were negative 32 cents a share in 2020. So, of course, you just have to make a little bit of money and you'll go way up. I guess there's nowhere to go but up from there. Revenue sales down 3.2% over the last 5 years. And cash flow is down 13.4% over the last 5 years. This is worrisome. You do not like to see this steady downward trend from revenue and cash flow. One metric that I absolutely love is the interest coverage ratio. The interest coverage ratio basically shows how much money you have to pay the interest expense from operating income. This is a very bad number right here, this 0.75 current. 0.75, no bueno. You want to have, I like to look for about 5, but the lowest that they show here, Ben Graham, is 5 also. A lot of dividend investors look for 3 as a lower. This means they have 75 cents of operating income for every $1 of interest expense and is a major red flag. And welcome to Simply Wall Street. Let's take a quick peek at a few metrics here. First will be financial health. Currently, their short-term assets outweigh the short-term liabilities, but they do not outweigh the long-term liabilities. This gives me a little bit of pause, and the debt to equity is just god-awful. This is a massive red flag for me. You do not want to see a debt to equity of 449%. They currently do not pay a dividend, but they forecast that when they start paying a dividend again, it will only be 1.17%, which is way too low for me as a dividend growth investor. And the valuation they give is $20.91. Keep in mind, this is a discounted cash flow model, meaning that they're basically looking 10 years out into the future, and they're trying to take the incoming cash 10 years out, less expenses, and discount it to a value today, which they get $20.91, making it about 36.3% undervalued at the current price of $13.33. But as a dividend growth investor, they're not paying a dividend. There is just too much debt for my liking. The interest coverage ratio is microscopic. I would not be buying any forward. And if you did buy in at the low, I would strongly consider taking profits and moving it to a company that does pay a growing dividend. So check this out with Apple. They have 6.3 million followers, and they have 0 tweets, and they're not following anybody. Why there's 6.3 million followers, I have no clue. But hey, people want to follow Apple because it's basically a cult, and it's a cult I partake in, as you can see by these wonderful AirPods that I have bought, and I've wondered where they have been my whole life. Take a quick peek at the Apple website. iPad Pro, supercharged by the Apple M1 chip. iPhone 12, they're always at the top of their game. iMac, Apple Watch. It is just a behemoth of a company. There's Apple TV. You gotta love what Apple's been able to do. They are one of the big dogs in the tech space. I do invest in Apple. I have them in my stash account, which is part of the Stashing Worthy Acorns challenge that I've been doing. But I am very close to buying Apple within the self-directed IRA or our Roth IRA, and I'll show you why. So we just looked at Ford's interest coverage ratio. That was 0.75 or 76, I think. Look at Apple, 33.69. That means Apple has $33.69 of operating income to easily cover every $1 of interest expense. Green light. Let's see what Chucky Schwab has to tell us about Apple. They give it an A rating. The 52-week range, this is all post-split, post-split adjusted, $78 to $145, a beta of 121. Remember, if the market goes up $1, this goes up 121, down $1 is $1.21. The quarterly dividend, we get to look at some dividends here, so let's just jump right into those dividends. That's the thing of beauty. Check out since 2013 that this goes back just every year, 10%, 10%, 10%, 15%, 8, 6. That is just as solid as you can be. The annual dividend yield, though, unfortunately is 0.70%, but they have so much money, and the payout ratio is only 18.62%. The dividend coverage ratio, they're just 536%. Astronomical numbers. Apple is so strong with a 5-year growth rate of 9.9%, and they have not been paying a dividend for 10 years, so there's no 10-year growth rate. We'll look at some growth analysis. Just going to be good. 7.3% annualized 5-year growth rate. They had a little hiccup there from 18-19, but up 10.2% from 19 to 20. Strong as strong can be. 3.3% annualized 5-year growth rate in revenue, and the cash flow up 1.4% annualized 5-year growth rate. Back to simply Wall Street, let's look at the financial health. Short-term assets outweigh the short-term liabilities, but they do not outweigh the long-term liabilities. They have plenty of long-term assets, so that is nothing to worry about. Debt to equity, 175%. That's a little bit higher than you'd like to see. But if you look at their cash and cash equivalents, it's just monstrous. There's no problem here. They have more cash than they know what to do with, and they borrow money because why not? They know they're going to be able to make such a strong return on that money. Again, the dividend is only 0.70%, a little bit small, but for a company that will just have no problem growing the dividend, and the current payout to shareholders is only 18%, future 17%, microscopic. Simply Wall Street has a fair valuation of $118.04, making Apple about 6.3% overvalued at current prices of $125.43. I would have to agree. I'm waiting for a little bit more of a pullback. I would love to get this around $110 to $115. And remember, the lower that the price goes, the higher the yield. So as a dividend growth investor, this is why we love when share price falls, because we get a higher starting yield. But all in all, I think Apple's a fantastic company, and if anybody buys here, I have no qualms about it. If you're holding for the long run, fantastic company. And AT&T, the opposite of Apple, has 172,000 tweets, 903,000 followers, though. They can't even crack 1 million followers with 172,000 tweets. AT&T, definitely not a cult. Let's see the last few things they've tweeted about. So there's the HBO Max, and they are 4 days away from the Friends reunion. This is going to be big. A lot of people are going to be all about that. So at AT&T's website, we're going to see, this isn't the corporate website, but it's nice to get a feel. I like to go on companies' websites at whatever the consumer is going to see, just to see what they got going on. This gives me a good feel of what, so they're obviously iPhone 12, and discover the latest from Apple. They are in partnership with Apple, because why would they not be? What is the AirTag? I don't know what the AirTag is, but I am going to look into that. It will apparently help you find your things. Now, I did not see the investor relations on AT&T, so this is a little hack I like to use. If you type in a ticker symbol and then IR, it will most likely every time, first result, take you to the investor relations page of a company, as it did right here. And the big news that everybody's been talking about, and if you follow me, I did a few videos on this, click the link right here, is the AT&T, Warner Media, and Discovery. Click that video. I went through the whole thing. Needless to say, I'm a fan of it. I like it. I think it's a good thing. And if you didn't know, Discovery and Warner Media are going to combine and then spin off into their own entity, which we will receive shares of. So definitely check out the video I did. Looking in at Schwab, another A rating. So both Apple and AT&T get the A. The A's get the A's. 52-week range of $26.35 to $33.88. Now check out their beta, only 0.75. Meaning, again, if the market goes up $1, this is only going to go up 75 cents. But if it falls $1, it's only going to fall 75 cents, so it's a little bit more defensive. At least that number is probably mostly before the announced merger and spinoff. Quarterly dividend, 52 cents. Now that will be cut. Again, check out the video I did. I go over all of that. So a lot of these numbers are not going to be valid if the merger goes through. in 2022. And taking a look in on the dividend, they've basically raised it 4 cents every year, 80 to 84 to 88, 92. These are the total of all dividends, $2 to 208. They always equated to a 2% increase, as you can see right there. And they have not announced an upcoming dividend yet, but it's going to be 52 cents until most likely the merger goes through in mid-2022. And the dividend coverage ratio, if you remember, Apple was 500 something. This is -16. So their dividends have been an issue, but they have that 3-year, 5-year, and 10-year growth rate of the even 2%. Yeah, their earnings, not good. Down 30%, then down 139%. They attribute a lot of this to COVID, as they say, but I think they're going to be leaner and stronger going into the future after they spin off Warner Media. Let Warner Media do what Warner Media knows how to do, and then AT&T can focus on their legacy core business of being a telecom giant. Revenue sales up 3.2% year over year for the 5-year annualized growth rate. This has largely just been flat. And the cash flow, not a good sign. The cash flow had been going down, as you see here, 7.3% of an annualized 5-year growth rate. And looking at the interest coverage ratio, this is one of the reasons why I kept investing in AT&T. This is a metric that I pay close attention to. They have currently $3.26 of operating income to cover every $1 of interest expense. So gives them a little bit of wiggle room. It's not over 5, but it is over 3, which is really the low threshold that I like to look at. So definitely a low number, but could be worse. And we'll just plug in simply Wall Street. So a lot of this is going to kind of be moot after the spin-off of Warner Media, and they'll be receiving cash to pay down some debt. They're shaking things up, but as it is right now, we'll look at the financial health. Not good. They don't have enough short-term assets to cover short-term liabilities, but the long-term assets easily cover the long-term liabilities. 99.3% debt to equity ratio, so that's a little bit high. And to get a really warm, fuzzy feeling, you'd like to see that somewhere around the 60% level, 70% level. Dividend is 6.93%, which is a monster dividend. And the reason why most people were buying AT&T, why most investors were in AT&T, but when they announced that the dividend was being cut, that's why we saw the sell-off, and I believe that is largely overdone and was a lot of panic selling. But I think we shook out a lot of weak hands, and AT&T has found a floor in the short term. Again, this valuation is probably going to change by simply Wall Street, so I'm curious to see what it is, because they're losing about 20% of their revenue with Warner Media. Not going to be there. So this should change, but as things stand right now, fair value of $95.28, making it about 68.5% undervalued at the current price of $30.01. To find out the reasons why I bought AT&T, again, click the link that you see right here. So let me know what you think of those 3 companies, Ford, Apple, and AT&T. What are you going to do with them? We want to hear about it. Hey, if you were helped at any point during this video, ring that bell for me, because it's totally free for you. It totally means the world for me. We love that around here. Follow me on Twitter at RustyRam78. And yeah, check out this video I did on PepsiCo. And I'll show you why it's one of my favorite videos, and I will talk to you over there.